Luxury beauty products are definitely having a moment right now. It seems like everything that is pushed on social media is super expensive, but not everybody can afford these products. And even if you can, some people just don't want to spend a lot of money on makeup. So in response, a lot of drugstore and more affordable brands are coming out with dupes or alternatives to these viral products, but they can be hit or miss. So it kind of leaves you to wonder which ones are actually worth spending money on and which ones are as good as the original. So today we're going to be chatting about some of these trends, and I'm going to be sharing drugstore alternatives that are much cheaper, as well as some DIY options that you can actually do at home. So if that sounds good, let's go ahead and jump right in and get started. So the first viral product that I'm seeing absolutely everywhere are these hair styling wands, or these little frizz slicking tools. So basically these are for if you want to really sleek hairstyle, you pull your hair back in a bun and you don't want all of those little baby hairs and frizz coming out. What you can do is just take this wand and then slick it right on your hair, and it'll help to calm all of those little frizzies. I didn't actually do it today so that I could demo it on camera. So basically this is just like a hair gel in a wand. And while it does work, it's not 100% necessary. You can use any hair gel that you already have at home. You could take a spoolie wand and just go ahead and slick your hair down that way. I've actually been using my brow gel to do the same thing for years now. The only thing about using brow gel is sometimes it can dry a little bit more stiff and crunchy unless you're using a wax like this one from L'Oreal, the brow lamination. This one has a little bit of a softer result, but for the most part, I think these ones that are meant for your hair are a little bit softer than brow gel, but to me the brow gels actually have a little bit better hold, so it's kind of a trade-off. I did see this one from Garnier. If you're looking for one specifically for the hair on your head that's a little bit more affordable than something like this day option here that I got at Sephora, I actually really love this. I saw it at Walgreens recently, and it's called the Sleek and Shine Frizz Tamer. So this one, honestly, it smells just as good as the one from Day. They both have a nice fruity scent to them. I think they're actually very similar, and I find that the Garnier one does just as good a job as the one that's way more expensive. So this is a product you don't really need to run right out and buy. If you have hair gel at home, if you have brow products, you can always just use those and use what you have on hand. But I have to say, I've been really enjoying this Garnier one a lot. I think it does the job just as well as this more expensive option. The next trend that's been everywhere are glossy lip stains. Glossy lips really made a comeback, and everybody was wearing lip glosses, but I think they kind of missed having the longer wear matte liquid lipstick formulas. So now there's sort of this hybrid between the two. We have a lot of glossy lip stains coming out. We have the ones from Rare Beauty. Fenty has some. I've also really been enjoying this formula from Kulfi that I got at Sephora, but these are all a little bit more on the expensive side. So at the drugstore, we have some great options. We have the Color Fetish Hydrating Lip Stains from Milani. My only issue with these is that they all are pretty dark colors. So if you're like me and you like a little bit of a softer look, these colors are all just a little bit more bold. So personally, my favorite glossy lip stain are these ones from Dayzik. These are actually a Korean beauty company. And not only do they come in beautiful colors, the packaging is so stunning. I have them in a couple of colors already, but I definitely want more. And I like these even more than the high-end versions simply because they have this beautiful, almost jelly-like texture, and it makes sense that the Korean brands have perfected this because this has been a trend in Korea long before it was over here in the United States. So I just find their glossy lip stains to be way superior in terms of the formula, and these are just a much more affordable alternative, and they come in the most beautiful colors. You don't have to go super dark like the Milani. You can definitely get them in lighter, softer shades. So overall, I am absolutely loving these, but if you don't actually want to go out and buy a glossy lip stain, you can easily make them at home. As long as you already have a lip stain in your collection, like one of the ones that comes in like the marker pen style or just a liquid lip stain, you can go ahead and apply that and just apply a lip oil on top of it. That'll help to hydrate your lips. It'll give you that little bit of shine and basically the same type of finish. So if you've purchased some of those matte lip stains in the past and you just don't like the way that they feel, they're too drying on on you, applying a clear lip oil on top really makes a huge difference, but yet the color underneath is gonna stay put longer. Another big trend we're seeing right now are black lip oils, especially heading into fall. Clarins released one of their comfort lip oils in the black shade, and it's totally going viral. Everybody is talking about it on my social media pages, and for good reason. I love Clarins. I think this formula is one of the best lip oils on the market. And recently I just tried this black lip oil from Milani. This is their Fruit Fetish lip oil, and it's in the black cherry vanilla scent. First of all, it smells amazing. The Clarins one smells good too, but I think I'm kind of partial to this one. And both of these, even though they look kind of scary in the tube, give you the most beautiful sheer plummy or blackberry colored lip, because your natural lip color is going to show through that black a little bit, and it gives it this rosy quality that is just so stunning. Again, especially heading into fall, if you're doing more dramatic eye makeup, this is a really subtle way to go a little bit deeper with your lip color without wearing something super bold and dramatic. And I have to say, the Milani formula, I like it just as much as the Clarins. It's very hard to find lip oils that are this thick and cushiony feeling and just really hydrating. And the Milani one definitely delivers. It's not one of those thin lip oils that just kind of sinks into your lips and disappears after a few minutes. It really stays put, and even after the shine wears away, I still feel the hydration from this hours later, just like the Clarins. So I think this is a great alternative if you don't want to spend $40 on a black lip oil. Serum blushes are also incredibly popular right now. Hourglass's Unreal blush has gone viral. Everybody was talking about this, and it kind of seemed like something a little bit new and different because we haven't seen that many blush formulas that are like this. Yes, liquid blushes have been trending for a while, but most of the time they have a heavier, sort of creamy feel, like the Rare Beauty blushes. The Hourglass ones were different because they almost feel a little bit like an oil going on. They're super lightweight, very hydrating, but at the same time, they have enough pigment where they really show up on your skin. And I personally love how easily they just melt right in. They're absolutely gorgeous. But they do remind me of something that I already had, again from a K-beauty brand, and this is from the House of Her. It's their Moist Ampule Blusher. So this has such a similar formula to the Hourglass. It almost feels like a blush serum. It has a little bit of that slightly oily texture to it where it's just very hydrating going on. It's super thin, very lightweight, very melty. And even though it looks a little dewy at first, it sinks into your skin really nicely, and it doesn't make it feel greasy. I find that it looks just like the Hourglass when all is said and done. I know these colors aren't exactly the same, but I honestly have a very hard time telling the difference between the two when I'm applying them to my cheeks. And again, if you don't want to go right out and purchase a new product, but you want something that's going to be similar to the Hourglass blush, I recommend taking a regular liquid blush that you already have in your collection. This is the L'Oreal Lumi Liquid Blush. This formula is beautiful. It actually reminds me a lot of the Rare Beauty. It has that slightly more creamy feel, and it's a little bit thicker than the Hourglass formula, which is, like I said, very thin. But you can totally create your own formula at home by just taking a facial oil. This is the one from Bubble. It's really affordable. And just putting the tiniest drop of the oil. Don't put too much, just a tiny little bit, and then I take the L'Oreal and put a little bit of that on my hand right next to it, mix the two together, and the oil just thins out the blush so nicely and gives it that same feel as the Hourglass. So I just want to show you the two. Here's the L'Oreal blush by itself, and then here it is with the oil mixed in, and you can see it's a little bit more sheer. It just really thins it out. It does lighten the color slightly, but it gives it that same look as the Hourglass blush and adds a little bit of shine to it as well. And speaking of blush, another formula that is super trendy and viral right now are blurring blushes. So we have the new ones from YSL, the Anastasia Beverly Hills blurring blushes, and also the Huda Beauty blurring liquid blushes. So all three of these formulas are great. I have no complaints whatsoever, but at the same time, again, very, very expensive. So one formula that I found at the drugstore that I've been using for a while now, and I really enjoy it a lot, are these ones from Hard Candy. These are the Face Off blurring liquid blushes, and they do really have that very similar blurring effect as the other blushes that I mentioned. They create this really pretty smoothing effect on your cheeks. So if you have a lot of pores and texture, these are just gonna glide right over those and make your cheeks look a little bit smoother. Personally, I love this trend way more than the glowy blushes that we were seeing in years past, because now that I'm in my 40s, I definitely have more texture on my cheeks than I did before, and these just make it look so smooth. But again, if you don't want to go out and buy a blurring blush formula, one thing that I like to do, and I've actually been doing this for a long time now, is again take a regular liquid blush like the L'Oreal. I'm just going to put that on my hand as is. Then I'm going to show you a way that you can make it blurring. So I'm just going to put a little dot of this on the other side. And then what you're going to do is take a pore filling primer, whatever you have. This is the one from Tarte. It's the Tarte Smoothing Primer, but I've also done this with the new Milani Smoothing Primer, and that one works great too. So just take a little bit of that on your finger, mix it around in the blush that you just put on your hand, and I'll show you what happens. It just gives you that beautiful blurred effect. So here's the blush without, and then here it is with the primer. And you can see it just has a more matte look. It still feels really creamy and it's easy to apply, but it's gonna give you that pore smoothing look thanks to the primer mixed in. So that's just a great way to enjoy the blurring blush trend at home. Another product that has just gone completely viral are tubing mascaras. It seems like every single brand is coming out with one now. Thrive is probably the brand that put tubing mascaras on the map, but they're not the first brand to do them. I know Blink has had them for years, and a couple of other brands that sort of pioneered this formula. But like I said, Thrive has just gone completely viral, and for good reason. It does give you that huge false lash look. And since this one became super popular, a lot of other brands are following suit. We have Tarte, we have Hourglass, Milk Makeup, and even some of the drugstore brands like Milani as well. My personal favorite at the drugstore is the e.l.f. Lash Extender. While it's not identical to the Thrive, I think it is very close. And one thing that I have noticed as well is that it's not quite as heavy and doesn't have as much tendency to clump as the Thrive one does. As much as I love that one, it can get clumpy if you apply too much. And I think it's because the Thrive is a little bit of a wetter formula and it really clings to the brush. So when you go to apply it, a lot of it comes off on your lashes all at once. And the e.l.f. one is a little bit of a drier formula, so you have to build more coats to get the same result. But you can absolutely do it. And I think because the e.l.f. is less likely to clump and it's slightly drier, it's just easier to work with and control. And I absolutely love the way that my lashes look at the end of the day with the e.l.f. one. So if you don't want to spend the money on the Thrive, or it's just inconvenient because the only place you can get this is on the Thrive website, definitely check out this one from e.l.f. I don't think you'll be disappointed in it. It really gives great length and volume, and the tubing formula means it's super easy to remove at night and it doesn't smudge or flake. When it comes to skincare, I think one of the most popular products right now are Milky Toners. So many brands are coming out with them. We had the Laneige Milky Toner. We also have the one from Ilia, which I have to admit is a beautiful toner. I really enjoy this one a lot. But they're pricey. So are there any more reasonable alternatives? I would say absolutely. I love this one from Bioma. This is the Hydrating Milky Toner. I got this at Target. It wasn't expensive. It comes in a large 5-ounce bottle. It's gonna last you a really long time. And I find this to be so hydrating on my dry skin. I usually apply a few layers of it just to really lock in the moisture. And I notice a huge difference between when I use this and when I don't. Another great Milky Toner option at the drugstore that I just got recently and I'm already loving it is from Thayer's. They're actually known for their witch hazel toners, but this one doesn't have the witch hazel. It has snow mushroom and hyaluronic acid, and it really also is a great option if you're looking for a hydrating milky toner. So I really don't think you have to spend a lot of money. When it comes to formulas like these, yes, the Laneige and Ilia toners and all of the other high-end ones are really nice, but I think when it comes to a toner, you're really just looking for it to hydrate your skin. It doesn't have to be this super complicated formula that you have to spend a lot of money on. It doesn't need to be high tech like maybe you prefer your serums to be. When it comes to a toner, you just want something that's deeply hydrating, and I think that these two do it really well for not a lot of money. Another big trend that I'm seeing all over social media, especially over on TikTok, is hair oiling. So many people are doing this, and there really is a lot of science behind it. So basically it's coating your hair with an oil, before you shower, either up to 30 minutes before or even the night before. I've done that so many times and it really does help your hair. I first learned about this through Abby Young here on YouTube, and she has the most gorgeous hair. If you haven't seen her channel, definitely go and check her out because she has some great tips and advice. And this is actually a product that I learned about from her. I had seen it in the drugstore a million times, but I never thought to buy it. It's the OGX Coconut Miracle Oil. She recommended putting this on, again, either 30 minutes before showering or even up to the night before. And then when you get in the shower, just shampoo it out, use your regular conditioner. But this just fills in all of the micro holes that are in your hair. I'm trying to think of what the term is that she used. I'm totally blanking on it, but it really has such reparative qualities. And whenever I'm on social media, everybody's recommending these super expensive hair oils, but I'm telling you, this one works so well and it is really, really inexpensive. It is sort of a thicker, more weighty hair oil. So if you have super thin or fine hair, I would recommend one of the other ones in this line. They have one that comes in a spray that's a lot lighter, and they also have a third option. Again, I can't remember exactly which one it was, and I have tried those other options, but for me this one works the best. Even though I do have fine textured hair, because I'm washing this out with shampoo, it doesn't really bother me, although I wouldn't put this in my hair as a finishing oil or anything like that because it's much too heavy. I definitely recommend trying that out. The next trend I'm seeing are peptide-infused lip balms. So lip balms have actually been popular now for a while, particularly the tinted versions, and recently we're seeing the peptides added to them as sort of an anti-aging component to kind of smooth out your lips a little bit more and prevent the fine lines. And the two probably most popular ones that we hear about all the time are the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve Peptide Lip Treatment and the Persona Day Mask Peptide Lip Balm. Both of these are really nice formulas. I've been using them both for a while now. They come in really nice colors and they do make your lips feel so good. They're very hydrating and are supposed to help smooth out your lips over time. But I did find something at the drugstore pretty recently that I wanted to share. These are the Juicy Peptide Balms from Makeup Revolution. So I don't always love every product Makeup Revolution comes out with. I think they're very hit or miss most of the time, but I really enjoy these lip balms so much. I think they have a beautiful texture. They have that super cushiony feel that I like. They're not sticky, and they also come in really fun scents. I have this brown one which smells like latte, and then the pink one that smells like strawberry, and they do have those peptides in the formula that are supposed to help smooth everything out. So when I compare the latte one with Cocoa Cream from Ole Henriksen, I actually think the color is very similar. The biggest difference for me is the Ole Henriksen one is a little bit thicker and it almost feels a little sticky when you press your lips together. Personally, I don't mind sticky lip balms and glosses because I find that they grip to your lips a little bit better and they last longer. But the Revolution one in comparison feels slightly thinner, but also smoother. It doesn't have the stickiness. So it kind of depends on what you prefer, but I love that the Revolution ones, even though they're a little thinner, they still have that nice cushiony feel, and they're just really silky overall. And then when it comes to the Persona Day Mask versus the Juicy Peptide from Revolution, these are actually more similar. The Persona one is definitely a thinner formula than the Ole Henriksen, so I found it to be pretty comparable in terms of the way that it feels to the Revolution one. I think the bubble shade in Persona just has slightly more pigmentation than the strawberry one from Revolution, but overall I like them both, and if you were looking to kind of jump on the peptide lip balm trend, you really can't go wrong with these. They feel so nice on your lips, they're very hydrating, and you get the benefit of the peptides in there. So these are another really fun find. Anyway guys, that's everything that I have. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who took the time out of your day to watch this video. I truly appreciate it. If you do have some extra time and you'd like to watch another one of my videos, I'll put some right over there that you could check out next. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in my next one. Take care. Bye.